This table was clean like 3 days ago. Anyways, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews. Today I'm continuing my look at the Ticket to Rides with Ticket to Ride Nordic countries. So I'm up a couple of weeks behind on my schedules. I'm hoping to make some double weeks and post a video on Mondays. I don't know when I will start doing that. We'll figure it out as we go. Anyways, today I'm looking at Nordic countries. So let's just start off putting on a table and seeing how it's played. Alright, setup is as we already know it. You want the papers. Main board here goes in the middle. Not the biggest one, but the most important feature of this is, of course, all of the Danish names. Yeah. And a little bit of a weird shape to it, but it's possible to make a better shape in a square map like this. So I'm actually a bit unhappy with that, but that's for later. This plate chooses a color. This one I'm gonna choose purple and pink, and of course they get a set of trade cards. I can't remember how many are in these trade cards. I'm sorry. All right. Grab all of your lovely, bubbly little cards here. And of course, sharpen them up, and oh my god, I don't have room up here. Even my big ass dinner table is not quite big enough. It's obviously put these out and flip up the top 5. Und 5. Yes. Then you grab your Globetrotter doubler down, sorry about that, and you grab all these lovely bubbly tickets, and just all the ones with the Danish city in them that I had on the top right there. All these ones, and this one's a bit different because you will distribute 4 and forcing each player to keep 2 of them at the start of this one, I believe. Or you could just do normal Ticket to Ride one and give them 5 each. There's always variations in it, but whatever. And you choose one of these, I mean 2, 3 of these. Yeah, it's always variations, but we usually just go for either the 4 and you keep 2 or 5 and you keep 3. It depends on the edition of the game. Anyways, it's set up. It is a Ticket to Ride setup. What the hell is that cat got in hold of now? How do you play? Well, you can do the basic 3 things on your action. You can pick up 4 new ticket cards, where you have to keep 1 of them. You can draw up to 2 cards from here, unless of course it is a locomotive thing. You can only pick up the locomotive from here. If you pick up from the pile, you can always pick up 2. Draw 2. But you can also, take 1 here, take 1 there. Unless of course the one you take from the face up is a locomotive. Then you can, when you've gotten those, let's say we just got the yellow ones here, whatever. And you can, then your next turn, of course, you can play 2 yellow right there. Grabbing from your supply in to the yellows, bam, bam, you've gotten that one. I haven't looked at the cards, so maybe that's not usual. But anyways, then this is that you place down 2, so it gives you 2 points. 1 gives you 1, 2 gives you 2, 3 gives you 4, 4 gives you 7 points, 5 gives you 10 points, 6 gives you 15 points, and the big root of 9 gives you 27 points. The big root of 9 is right here. 3, 6, 9. Pew. Massive root. And you will count these points all throughout the game. But at the end of the game, you count up your points from these ones here, the points. If you completed these routes, you will gather those amount of points, and then a Globetrotter bonus. Hold on. There's an extra 10 points for the person that gained the most tickets. So complete the most tickets and you get 10 points bonus there, so you're already well on the way there. That's the game. Now I was saying this one, you can always add some of the bonus from the other games, right? There's a bonus for most cards, in a row or whatever. That could be a bonus that you add here as well. One little notch that there is, and it's actually nice, there's a yellow form here, is black border around. These are tunnels. If I were to say I want to place my trains right there, well, that is a tunnel, so we'll have to flip over. Well, first you would refill, which is very lucky, that was a yellow one. And you flip over the top 3 cards. As you can see here, it's very lucky that we have to refill because you get rid of the yellow card. There's no yellow cards, everything goes through. If there was a yellow card, you would have to play, what has the boat symbol on that one? I don't know. You would have to pay 1 more, or 2 more, or 3 more, depending on the amount of yellow cards they showed up. A locomotive only counts if you also played a locomotive. So if I played a yellow and a locomotive came off, I would have to play another locomotive. And yellows, and all of that. But at the same time, you cannot use a locomotive to refill. And that's the game. Just quickly powering through, there's no need to spend a lot of time here. Let's get back, let's clear it out, talk about my final thoughts. I'm packaged up again. I might be recording this bit like 2 days later because life happened. But anyways, not take the right, not recording. So of course, we will look at our criteria, starting with the gameplay. So what do I think of the gameplay? Well, the gameplay, it is the essential Ticket to Ride. Gameplay is the thing that is the backbone of the series, and why I love it. The simplicity of, you know, completing your, maybe not completing your task, asking for some more, or drawing up the cards and then putting down routes. How many cards do you want on hand before you start building out the routes? How long do you want to wait? It is a headache. And the Nordic countries, of course, absolutely lovely to have those. I commented on it in the bit, but Denmark, I love it. I always love seeing Denmark in anything, because we're such a small nation. So whenever you hear someone like, no, it's Denmark or whatever, you know, Italo Brothers song, Radio Hardcore, when they say Denmark, oh, I'm always there like, Denmark. It's been 10 years or so shit, but I love it. But that is the core of the gameplay, and of course this one adds the tunnels as the only bit of addition to the gameplay. But they are a lovely little thing because they add to that risk to reward thing. Like, do you want to risk it, or do you what do you do in the situation of having to go there? It is always interesting, and it's lovely to grab up the pile and be like, creates a little bit, make a little bit of fun of it, have a tiny bit of tension, but mostly just have fun with it. So the gameplay is just the greatness of Ticket to Ride that I imagine to come from it. Next up, theme. So theme is in the Ticket to Ride series, as I said. It makes a lot of sense that it's strange just by the routes that it's making. So I'll judge it, this one, solely by the routes that it's making. So it does have some routes between like Sweden and Finland that are very long, which makes sense because you have a lot of area there where you need to go long, and the bits where there are some tunnels make sense. Those around the mountains of Norway and Sweden, so it makes sense that they're there. It takes me a little bit out of it when you see the map, because the map is not very accurate. It's flipped, and the bad part is it's like a prolonged map. You could fit it in a lot more accurately. That's what annoys me. But this is just, it's weird to look at. Even when you flip it the right side and have Norway that way, if they're not sticking just a little bit too much to the side and you're Finland curving around like that, what the hell are you doing? I would rather have Finland and Estonia not being in the Nordic countries. Mind you, Finland's the only one that have a little bit of claim to that. But rather not have so much Finland, just focus on the ones that, you know, most people in Europe at least think of when you say the Nordic countries: Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and then a little bit of Finland. Building that in a more accurate map, it takes me a little bit out of the theme, and it is a little bit annoying. Otherwise, I think the Christmas, as you can see, the Nordic one goes through and all the artwork. It's very lovely. As a Danish person, it doesn't make any sense, but no, Sweden, Norway, Finland, it makes sense, of course. And otherwise, it is just the Ticket to Ride theme. I've talked about it a couple times now, how you could probably add a whole bunch of things to it, make a difference, but it somehow just really works with trains. And that's, you know, so that's all about theme. Have I forgotten my list? No, I have not. Components. I think I've mixed around components and theme. Components. So, this one uses regular size cards. That's a thumbs up. I talked about this one the first year, right? I hate it. Please give me regular size cards to use. Please. but it uses the same plastic trains. This one has some different colors. It has white, black, and purple in the box. Only 3. What the hell? It has room for 5. Maybe I just, got a bad version. The pink ones that I used is an addition. I can read it pretty common. It's like support for breast cancer research by purchasing this package of pink trains. I think it's pretty widespread that pink is the supporting breast cancer research thing. So there's a little addition to this one that I'll put in. But otherwise, 3. That it's the same level. The wooden point markers and plastic trains that are clearly 3 sort of printed. A very nice thing, actually, 3D printed. I think I'm talking out of my ass for that one. But very nice components, and the cards are, of course, big in this one, regular sized, I would say, and actually handleable, and the artwork is just fantastic. I talked about it, the artwork with the snow on them, and the jumping of colors. That doesn't make any sense, I think. But the colors pop, I think, from this one, and seem to pop a little bit more in this one than it does the other ones. Maybe it's the Christmassy theme that makes just the colors come alive a little bit more. Who knows? And the components to talk about, well, there is the sensor board. I don't think I've mentioned it that much before, but sensor board is the sensor board. I think it's very high standard for a sensor board within the board gaming community, and definitely something you should look at as something to base yours upon. But the components are, as always, a really high level in the Ticket Ride series. Alright, does it lie to you? Well, on the box it says 2 to 3 players, 8 and up, 30 to 60 minutes. So it does say 2 to 3 players on here. So it shouldn't have been a surprise to me. I'm just going to flip this like this. So it should not have been a surprise to me that there were only 3 in here. Well, I will say that then it lies to you. These boxes here, they all suit very nicely for 5 players. They just need to add the trains to it. And as you see, I have added the pink trains to make it 2 to 4 players. They go really well up to 5. 2 to 5 is a great experience playing a Ticket Ride game, definitely. So that's a little bit of like a sneaky one. 8 and up. It's a difficult one, but for this one, it's one of the more simpler ones. Is that it just adds the tunnels. I think 8 and up is pretty accurate. 9, 10 maybe, and in 30 to 60 minutes, completely depends on your play group and how many people you are. But probably alright, suited for that. It can always take longer, but I think it's a pretty decent average for the time. So that's all the talking points. What is my score for this game? Probably skipped something, but what is my score for Ticket Ride Nordic? Well, my final score for this one is a 9 out of 10. Yes, it jumps above regular Ticket Ride. That is only at an 8. This is at a 9. This is the addition of the tunnels. A little bit, yes. First of all, I love it that it adds new colors, but that's not something. The main thing is indeed that it is the tunnels, and it feels a little bit tighter. You have to think a little bit more about the routes and stuff in this one. Suggests that more thinky game makes it pop a little bit more up for me, and then there's more routes leading to Denmark. So you might have noticed I grabbed some routes and flipped them around. Those were all the Danish routes with Danish cards, because we make sure to always have those in play. Because we're Danish and it's just kind of fun. But my final score is 9 and 10, and am I keeping it? Well, yes, obviously. It would be silly of me not to. My goal is to have all the Ticket Rides. This is one of them. I gotta keep it. So that is another review by me, tabletop review by me, Marcus. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye.